Welcome to online education of New Satyam Catholic School. Chapter number 24, Substances, Objects and Energy. So students, let's start our studies with chapter number 24, Substances, Objects and Energy. What is substance? Students, every object is made up of substance. For example, if I say table is made up of wood, right? So wood is substance and table is an object. It just shows that different objects can be made from wood. Clear to you all? Okay. Students, let's look at the explanation and example given in your textbook. Write few lines on the blackboard with a chalk. Now observe the chalk and what change do we see in the chalk? What can you see, students? The size of the chalk becomes smaller, right? It becomes smaller when the teacher writes with the chalk on the board. Then wipe the board with a duster and then tap the duster against the table. What do you see? The chalk has become smaller, and when the duster is tapped, the particles of the chalk fell off. These particles are of the same color as the piece of the chalk. If yellow color chalk is there, that means yellow color particles will be there. If white color chalk is there, means white color particles will be there. So there is no change in the color particles of the chalk, right? Now, from the above example, what is the conclusion? We conclude that when we write something on the board, the particles of the chalk stick to the board, and when we dust it, that is when we wipe the board, they come off. That means the particles get clear off from the board. So this is the conclusion we have seen. When you pound the coal or sugar, it turns into a powder, that is into small particles. What is the meaning of pounding? It means making substance into small pieces. Pounding pieces of coal. All substances around us are made up of small particles. Let's look at the example which has been given in your textbook. Tiny particles of wood can be seen when the wood is cut with a sawdust. So, here is the clear picture shown of sawdust. Next is grinding. We get flour by grinding wheat. Okay, so when wheat is grind, we get flour, that is we get आटा. आटा क्या होता है? Fine powder. Yes, so this fine powder is obtained after grinding wheat. It shows that wheat are made of small particles. So wheat is a substance which is made of small particle. One example is given is about the sawdust. So students, what is sawdust? Sawdust are the small particles of wood, or we can say it is the tiny particles of wood which is obtained when the wood is cut, drilled or polished. Similarly, when the wheat is grind, you can see one more picture is shown, that is grinding. Yes, so when the wheat is grind, you get a flour. Yes, so what is this flour? Flour is tiny particles of wheat. So when iron or copper is made smooth with the file, we get particles of iron or copper. All substances like pencil, chalk, paper, wood, wheat grain, iron, copper, coal are made up of fine particle. Is that clear? ऑल सब्सटेंस, जितना भी सब्सटेंस है, पेंसिल है, चॉक है, कॉपर है, पेपर है, वुड है, व्हीट है, जितने भी सब्सटेंसेस हैं, ये सारे सब्सटेंस जो है वो टाइनी टाइनी पार्टिकल से बने हैं। इस बात को आप मानते हैं? समझ में आया आपको? ठीक है, अब हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। स्टूडेंट्स, एवरी सब्सटेंस इज मेड अप ऑफ स्मॉल पार्टिकल. These small particles themselves, they have made up of many tiny particles, and these tiny particles are not at all visible to us. They are only visible when they are collected in large number. When they come together in large number, then only these particles are visible to us. Let's look at the example of the raindrop. Raindrop that falls on the road bounce off and break up into droplets. These droplets are also made up of tinier particles of water. They make us wet. It means that liquids are also made of small particles. समझ में आया स्टूडेंट्स? जब बारिश की बूंदें नीचे गिरती हैं तो उनकी जो बूंदें हैं वो बिखर जाती हैं स्मॉल ड्रॉपलेट्स में. इससे हम क्या सीखेंगे कि बारिश की बूंदें भी छोटे छोटे पार्टिकल से बनी हैं. नेपथलीन. Naphthalene is continually being converted into small particles in gaseous state. Such small particles from the ball settle on the cloth, and so the cloth too smell naphthalene. As the particles leave naphthalene ball, the ball goes smaller in size and slowly it disappears. Particles of rangoli are fine like flour. Particle color, rangoli color are available in the form of grain. Rangoli powders are made up of small particles, fine powder. Then let's look at the state of the substance. Students, substance exists in three states: solid, liquid and gaseous state. Here what is happening? The arrangement of the particles, they are changing in each and every state. Arrangement of particles in solid, arrangement of particles in liquid, here in gaseous. Let's see in the first picture how the arrangement of particles is shown. As a result, we see difference in the properties of solid, liquid and gaseous state. All the substances in nature leave their particulate form. They are made up of particles, and in nature every substance occurs in specific state. Accordingly, that the substance is called as solid, liquid and gaseous state. Yes, for example, aluminum and coal are in solid state, kerosene and petrol are in liquid state, whereas nitrogen and oxygen are gaseous. Different substances have different properties. Substances may differ with respect to properties like hardness, transparency, color, smell, solubility and water. Next come to the point substances and objects. So students, these objects are made up of substances. You can see here the different articles are made from log. That is why we can say log or wood. It is a substance by which the table, chair has been made. Students, the given picture shows objects like bat, table, chair, ply. They are made of wood. Let's see one more example. What the potter is doing? Potter is making pot. So, pot is object. Correct? Students, he makes pot. That is the object. But what did he use to make pot? He used clay. So, clay is substance. Clay is substance by which he is making pot. Is that clear? The difference between the substance and object is clear to you all? Let's proceed. So, students, what could we conclude? We conclude that we can make useful objects from a variety of substances. We also get energy from them. So, our next topic is energy. How energy is obtained from substances. Let's see. Next part is energy. We make use of object from variety of substance. Another use of substance that we get energy from some of. What is energy? Energy means capacity of a body to work. We get energy from some of the substance. There is a car. Its tank is full of fuel, but it can't move. Tank is full, but it is not moving. Why? When we have run a long distance, we feel tired and we have to stop. Why we are stopping? Because our energy get over. Yes, let's see why the car is not moving even after the tank is full of fuel. The reason is that when petrol or diesel burns in a motor vehicle, energy get released. Yes, so when something burns, energy get released in the form of heat. Thus, we learn that energy is obtained by burning of certain substances. I will read this paragraph for you. When petrol or diesel burns in a motor vehicle, energy gets released. When petrol is finished or if it is stopped burning, the vehicle to stop running. When something burns, energy gets released in the form of heat. We have learned that in our body too, energy is obtained by burning of certain substances. When a person or vehicle moves, heat energy gets converted into motion. Heat energy is getting converted into motion. Energy in the form of motion is called kinetic energy. I repeat, energy in the form of motion is kinetic energy. All moving things have kinetic energy. For example, when the wind blows, the windmill turns, and sailing boat and clouds move from one place to another. So students, you have seen what all things happen when the wind blows. जब हवा चलती है तब विंड मिल टर्न होता है, बोट सेल होते हैं, क्लाउड्स भी मूव होते हैं. Right? So when wind blows, windmill turn, sailing boat and clouds move from one place to another. This work is possible only because of kinetic energy of the wind. Similarly, a ceiling fan, mixer, a water pump are machines in which kinetic energy is used. They get kinetic energy from electricity. That is why electricity is also a type of energy. Let's see fuel. Students, this is our topic, fuel. You can see the picture clearly. Sure. Here many machines can be run using fuel. Coal, diesel, CNG, LPG. What is the full form of CNG, students? Compressed natural gas. And LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Petrol are all substances from which energy is obtained in the form of heat. Now let's look to other forms of energy. Hence, I will read this paragraph for you. Many machines can be run using fuel. Coal, diesel, CNG, LPG, petrol are all substances from which energy is obtained in the form of heat. When a person or vehicle moves, heat energy gets converted into motion. Energy in the form of motion is called kinetic energy. All moving things have kinetic energy. For example, when the wind blows, the windmill turns and sailing boat and clouds move from one place to another. This work is possible only because of kinetic energy of wind. The following picture shows that the boat in water moves with the help of kinetic energy of wind. Hence, same thing is written over here. All moving things have kinetic energy. For example, when the wind blows, the windmill turns and sailing ship and clouds move from one place to another. This work is possible only because of the kinetic energy of the wind. We use several devices in which work is done using no heat but other forms of energy. For example, we use electricity to run the TV. In it, electricity is converted into light energy, sound energy. In solar cooker or solar water heater, solar energy is used. Plants use sunlight to prepare their own food. In this process, energy from sunlight is stored in the food substance they make. These are the substances that burn in our body and give us all the energy we need for various purposes. When we burn substance like coal, mineral oil, the stored energy they contain is converted into heat energy. Sources of energy. We use various forms of energy such as heat, light, sound, electricity, and kinetic energy to do different tasks. In today's world, our main source for all these forms of energy are fuel and electricity. And to produce electricity, many power stations use fuel. And students, do you know stores of coal and mineral oil on earth are limited? In future, we will have to use mainly solar energy and atomic energy for the purpose of producing electricity. There are batteries which produce electricity using sunlight. They are called solar batteries. The heat of the sun, flowing water, and wind do not get depleted. Besides, they do not cause pollution when used to produce electricity. But producing electricity by this method is expensive. Hence, in any method of electricity generation, resources from the environment have to be used, hence making a habit of using the minimum amount of electricity is necessary in today's world. Students, let's see what we have learned from this lesson. Every substance we see around us is made up of minute particle. We can make different objects from the same substance. Substances are in solid, liquid and gaseous state. Capacity of the body to do work is called energy. All moving things have kinetic energy. Various forms of energy such as heat, light, sound, electricity are used to do different kinds of work. Sunlight, wind and water are non-exhaustible source of energy. Sunlight, wind and water are non-exhaustible source of energy. They must be used to the maximum extent at alternative source of energy. So students, with this I am finishing of the lesson. Next we have to go with our activity session. So write down this in your workbook one time. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, students.